Hello everyone, and welcome to a 1v1 in planetary annihilation. It's going to be Juicator of Genocide, casting a game between mceldowney and locrian. I'm going to go ahead and select the spot with the least amount of metal and commit suicide. That way I can cast the game between these two players. I'm going to go ahead and let locrian know that I'm committing suicide. I'm casting from mceldowney's computer since it is a superior rig than mine, and we're waiting on mceldowney to select his spawn location. And he selected, so I'm going to go ahead and delete. We'll zoom in and watch the explosion. They've spawned semi-close to each other. mceldowney will be playing under my account, Juicator of Genocide, and locrian is white. I'm just texting him a message real quick. Like he's gonna remember anyway. Looks like he's going 3 metals, an energy, and a air factory. I don't like the air factory so much in the beginning unless you're building scouts. Once again, we have another opponent building air fabricators. I think this puts you behind in the early game. I don't know. They cost more money to build structures with, whereas the bot fabricators, they build a little bit slower than the vehicle fabricators, but they don't cost as much money. So kind of up in the air on whatever play style you enjoy. Looks like he's sending his air fabricator to construct some metal here. His commander's working on energy. I like that. Building out a scout to try to find his opponent, which he doesn't know is located this way. mceldowney's working on more energy, and he also has a air fabricator coming out. I don't know what these players are up to, but I guess we'll find out. Air fabricators coming out for both opponents. Air fighter coming out for mceldowney, scouting out the planet. If he gets this fabricator kill, that would be a great pickup for mceldowney. But currently not scouting in the right direction. White scouting is just chilling at the North Pole. He should definitely continue this queue for his scouter a little bit longer. Still stationary, as mceldowney's fighter is working his way across the planet. And this is going to be interesting. Does he get the kill on the fabricator? Oh, he kills two fabricators. That's a huge pickup in the early game. Another fabricator coming out, but look at this. 2 structures just not producing because that one fighter. And the fighter is just continuously circling this base. This could be a real really good game. Look at this. Another vehicle fabricator down. These air fabricators, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of them. Look at this, one single fighter just wrecking his entire build. He's got anti-air up. That could change the getting 2. He's just scared of this one fighter. Where's mceldowney? Let's see what he's building with. Got bot fabricators just rushing into tier... No, it's tier 1. Continuously building tier 1. Continuously expanding. I wish when I clicked on their structures it would give me their economy, but it's not built yet. Constantly patrolling with fighters. Excellent. Looks like mceldowney's starting to have a affiliate towards the color orange. Myself, I like to bounce every which way. Another air fabricator building energy. They take more to build structures. Looks like I missed mceldowney's fighter getting shot down. Although it'd be excellent if he could come in here and shoot down these fabricators. But we got 3 unit producing structures from locrian and 3 plus 1 from mceldowney. So game's still kinda even, but look at the economy and it looks like mceldowney's a little bit ahead. Oh, excuse me. Just so much energy. 8 metal up. 8 metal up. 8 energy for locrian and 13 for mceldowney, so he's slightly ahead, and I think that's because of his non-air fabricators producing stuff. Although in my opinion, you know, vehicle fabricators produce a little better, but mceldowney has a affiliation, or he likes the bot fabricators, and it's doing him pretty good this game. Idle fighter outside his base. At least he's getting a scout which way old locrian's going. And 2 fighters coming, just snipe out that fighter. I don't like how that fighter was facing the wrong way, yet it shot down one of locrian's fighters. I think locrian's fighter should have shot him down without losing one, but it is what it is. Got some ants coming out for locrian. Some bots coming out for mceldowney, so it looks like it's going to be some bots for some ants. 7 bots versus 7 ants. So we're going to get to see a good bot versus ant fight here pretty soon. mceldowney has more fighters than locrian has. Looks like mceldowney's expanding a lot more, having these guys constantly queued up, whereas locrian only has 1 vehicle guy building income production. Oh my goodness, we have tier 2 fabricator coming out from locrian. If mceldowney doesn't realize this, this could totally change the tide of the game. But look at all these unit producing structures mceldowney has. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 9 of mceldowney. This, and could this be his trademark? This harassment coming in? This could totally put his opponent behind. If his opponent can't handle this harassment coming in from mceldowney, it could spell good game, just like his previous opponent. I like how he's mixed in a couple anti-air units. Sorry about my camera work, guys. He's got some anti-air to take care of some bombers if he has them, but mostly heavy anti-ground. But I like how this prevents just one or two bombers from killing your whole bot force. I like that mixture. These ants, man. Looks like we have attacks going to both fronts, but bots are going to get there first. Does Locrian notice him? I don't know. Continuously moving forward with these ants. He noticed one bot. Does he know the attack's coming on his base? I don't know. It all depends on what mceldowney does with this harassment force here. And if Locrian decides to pull back and defend, or base trade almost, or take out his own economics. Because look, this commander's back here. He could probably take out a couple income producing structures. Uh-oh. Nice commander positioning by Locrian. Able to fight off these bots. mceldowney's trying to stay away from this commander. Great defense by Locrian. Just luck or skill had the commander in the correct positioning. He had his ants guarding his front, ants guarding a flank, commander guarding from these bots. I'd like to see him move these ants this way, but there's no way that he knows that this assault's coming in. Besides these scouts here. Leveler's out already. Look at these levelers just wrecking these bots. He manages to save one anti-air bot. Pull him back. And we have mceldowney just now going 25% down into tier 2. More tier 1 factories coming up. We'll look at the economics from both players, and it looks like mceldowney's ahead in economics, but Locrian is ahead in tier for sure. Some levelers out here to his flank. Bunch of ants coming in here for a harass. Do these ants get the fighter? They're standing still, they sure will. Boom. So Locrian has secured a 360-degree perimeter. Sorry for that. Around his base. And mceldowney is continuing to expand his economics. I would like to see just like a couple defensive structures by mceldowney's energy over here, so he just can't get ransacked. And I'm missing a fight, I'm so sorry. mceldowney eats up an ant force over here. It looks like Locrian's gonna even the trade up. And he sure does. Took a little bit of health off 2 ants for all those bots. Looks like the game's starting to even up a little bit. I wish Locrian would do a little bit more expanding to his backside of his base here. He's got forces ready to protect his expansion, but he's not moving out yet. I think he's focusing more on fighting units than he is on economics, whereas mceldowney's mixing in economics with his fighting units, and as you can see, it's slowly growing mceldowney bigger. So the initiative is in Locrian's hands. Locrian needs to consolidate his forces and make a push to do some damage, or else we're in trouble. Looks like we're going to get a confrontation along the side of this crater. The ants can win, I think, if they back up. mceldowney's not realizing the confrontation's starting. Neither is Locrian, so we're getting pretty even trades here. mceldowney realized it and is backing up. Now he's starting to come on a flanking pattern. The ants are missing somewhat. Locrian's noticing and moving his forces to engage. And I think that was a pretty even trade between the ant and bot force, which I do not think that trade was good for old Locrian and his expansion attempts. Whereas the even trade is excellent for mceldowney. Look at this micro. Not losing this bot. Taking out an ant, taking out 2 ants. If he takes out this ant, it's kind of ridiculous micro. Look at this micro. Another ant going down. Look at this bot surviving. That's pretty ridiculous. Full health. Let me push Control H for you guys. And it's not bringing up the health bars, I'm sorry. It's alpha though, so what do you expect? But it's showing me injured units. mceldowney's macro is just superiorly outperforming his opponent. The ants are trying to come intercept these bots, but not quite quick enough with the nerf. All his levelers are out by his new tier 2 metal, which is nice, but I don't think it's enough. Let's see. Bots coming in from both flanks. These ants are just getting eaten up alive. But ants coming up from mceldowney 6. Push these bots back. And a nice bomber addition by Locrian to push these bots back. I like that. Oh, here comes the anti-air by mceldowney. Shooting down Locrian's bombers. While the ants are facing their turrets the wrong way, here come the bots. And mceldowney decides to pull back. So once again we have a little bit of a stalemate between the two forces. But I just think mceldowney's production is larger at the moment. Got a lot of idle production units here that could be building. Another tier 2 facility going up. Lots of energy from mceldowney. Look at all these unit producing structures. Excellent play by mceldowney. Coming back over here to Locrian. He's doing pretty good, but he's sitting just protecting these levelers when he could be pushing in and trying to do damage. And if you're going to take the tier 2 advantage like that, you need to do something with it besides protect your base, because he's not expanding as rapidly as he should to justify these units sitting at his home. Nice group of ants. Little clump of ants. Nice group of levelers. You know, we come over to his army, mceldowney's army, and what do we have? Tier 1 bots, 2 tier 2 bots, a nice group of tier 2 and bots and builders, and a bomber. Couple bombers and fighters. I think this force has a great chance of doing damage to mceldowney, but the longer Locrian sits here, the greater a lead mceldowney gets. The longer this game goes, the more in favor it is for mceldowney. Because we're rushing into more tier 2 here without taking economy. Yeah, he does have a tier 2 advantage. Yes, he has a unit advantage. Look, more tier 2 here, more tier 2 here, but he's not using it to create damage, so mceldowney's just continuously growing, expanding, creating more units, and this is going to be Locrian's downfall. If you're the strategy he's going, he needs to steal the initiative. He needs to try to create damage. The longer this game goes on, the more in favor it gets mceldowney. Period. Look at this. Where's his fabricators? Where's Locrian's fabricators? He's going an extremely army heavy build. Look at this. Bring these guys. Bring these levelers. Bring these levelers. Why are you just going in with ants? He could do good amount of damage to mceldowney right now, but he's not bringing everything. And since he's not bringing everything, he's going to lose this fight. I can almost guarantee it. Where's mceldowney? Look at this. Continuously expanding. These guys are idle. Yeah, but they haven't been up to this point, right? There's metal around here somewhere. Right here, this metal could be taken. This metal could be taken. This metal could be taken. But he's not. And instead he's pushing forward with a small ant force. He's just trying to accumulate levelers. He's got tier 2 energy, that's nice, but I don't know if it's enough. We'll see. The ants are coming in on an assault towards mceldowney. Tier 2 bots are trying to strafe back and forth. Make sure tier 1 bots. With those T2 bots in the mix, I don't know how these ants are going to fare. Bomber just gets shot down immediately. And without grouping all his forces together, Locrian lost that fight pretty decisively. And you know, he should have won it almost if he would have kited and had those levelers, because look, one T2 bot. But he didn't make his punch as hard as he can make it. Look at all these levelers just doing nothing, sitting idle. I get it, his 6 o'clock is weak. Get a fabrication vehicle and start making defenses. Whereas mceldowney continues to expand, continues to produce unit producing structures. T2 economy also coming in from mceldowney. Another T2 energy. Looks like he's hurting on energy. Look at all this. +14 guys working on T2 economy, and we come to Locrian's base and we have one, two guys that could be working on T2 economy. You know, 14 guys working on T2 economy is a little better than 2. We have another assault of just ants. This is going to be Locrian's downfall, is just pushing with ants while he keeps those levelers at home. They're no longer as fast as they are in the previous builds. They're not harassing units, they're army fighting units. They do pretty good damage, but not at this stage of the game. And he's attacking straight into these bots that he knows are here. He just attacked into these. Nice, he's starting to kite back now. That's pretty good micro from Locrian. Taking out a lot more bots than he would have, and a couple air vehicles. I'd like to see him keep microing back. So even though that wasn't the best engagement for Locrian, he was able to take out a lot more bots than his first attack. I like how he's learning as the confrontations go on. Looks like Mitch is trying to take the counter initiative with this surviving bot force. And the levelers come out to greet him. What a rude awakening the levelers are. But still, look at these levelers. Look at these levelers. Oh my goodness, coming in with a flank. That's nice. I like the multi-prong attacks. Coming in with levelers from multiple fronts. Looking good. But we got more T2 bots and T1 bots being produced. Let's see what the bomber can do, if anything. Bomber didn't even get a bomb off before he goes down. Levelers coming on, doing nice damage to Mitch's economy. Not economy, but unit producing structures. All levelers wasting their turret time shooting at air vehicles. Bots coming in from Locrian doing nice damage to Mitch's T2 metal. Just assaults going on everywhere. We got a huge assault coming on Mitch. Look how small this base is in comparison to Mitch's economic. Did Mitch waste too much time in getting units out? Taking tons of damage. It's going to rely on a lot of micro here. This is a complete surprising change of war. What happens with this leveler and these metal? What happens with these levelers and these unit producing structures? We got tier 2 bots coming out to try to greet the levelers. Some nice flanking going on here. Taking out levelers, and they're focusing on buildings. That's what Mitch is going to need to happen. He's going to need these units to shoot at buildings while his units shoot at his units. Do these units get microed? Going in two different directions. Levelers trying to shoot down the bot. It's surviving. Bots running in. I like how Locrian's now focusing all his units to try to take out his enemy. mceldowney's trying to throw up the GG. Nice levelers at the 6 o'clock of Locrian's base. Assaults going on multiple fronts. We look at mceldowney's base, and it's economy-wise, it's bigger, but even let's count the unit producing structures. mceldowney GG's it up. Let's go ahead and review that game. Go home and play. Did he go too hard into economics? Let's find out. I think he had the advantage for, 80% of that game. It almost, it wasn't an all-in because Locrian was defending his flanks, but he was so much smaller in comparison to mceldowney's expansions. Pretty even. Looks like Locrian goes into tier 2 pretty early, but he's only got 3 tier 1 unit producing structures, whereas mceldowney has 7 tier 1 unit producing structures. So 3 plus 1 is about even to 7. We got constant vehicles coming out of Locrian's build, pushing across the map, as does mceldowney. In the harassment aspect of the game, Locrian's forced to pull back. mceldowney does nice harassment patterns, pulls Locrian's commander off production, and it's keeping his forces overall back while he continues to grow. So I'll go ahead and pause it at this point. We got you know, 10, 12-ish medals for Locrian and 11-ish energies. We come over here to mceldowney's base and we have, you know, a bunch of energy. I don't know. A whole lot more than 11. And then we come to the metal. And we have, you know, 17 plus metal. So when it comes to economics, mceldowney is winning the economic war at this point, with his harassment going on at these fronts. And he's winning the army position fight with the bots. He should have cut in the middle of this fight here, I think, to save some more of these bots. Come a little bit more here and a little, but it's a decent trade. So we're pretty even on economics and army at this point. Little too many fighters out of mceldowney, I think, because there's not a lot of bombers here. Now, this is where mceldowney gets in trouble, I believe. Because these levelers sitting idle over here could be fighting. You know, these ants could be fighting, but they're defending the expansions that Locrian's not taking. Locrian, expand. If you're going to defend this stuff, expand. mceldowney, if you're going to go for such economic lead, maybe try to defend some of this energy that you have out here. But here comes a push. Both players don't really notice the fight's going on. mceldowney notices a little earlier, starts his flanking maneuvers, and gets a good unit trade. What are you going to do with 4 ants? Not a whole lot when it's surrounded by all my unit producing structures. So even trade so far. even game. One side going super unit producing structures, one side going, I'm going to overwhelm you in the late game. More economy from mceldowney, more assaulting units from locrian. Pretty even game up to this point. Where does the tide change? We have T2 constantly making for mceldowney, some bombers, some more T2. Commanders building with some bots assisting. Locrian notices the bot movement this time. See how the trade goes. mceldowney starts his flanking maneuvers, gets a good trade on the first force, starts running away from the second one, tries to come back, and backs away. So still pretty even game. Now we look how small locrian is at this point. He's maybe almost half the size as mceldowney, but he's got some levelers just slowly accumulating. mceldowney's T2 bots are just now starting to accumulate. Little too many fighters, I think. Bunch of T1 factories going up, I think is nice. Bunch more metal that could be taken at the 6 o'clock mceldowney's base. Look at all this metal back here. You know, maybe some vehicle fabbers could produce all this metal back here a little quicker. I don't know. Come back here to the back of locrian's base, and his metal's a little bit sparser, but he's still got nice chunks within his 6 o'clock that he could be taking, but he's not. But that eventually leads to his victory. Where's the tide changing battle? Leveler's still guarding his 6 o'clock. I like that, but I think he should be taking more metal back here. So this is a pretty big push from locrian. mceldowney, 3 tier 2 bots and some T1 bots come over here. It's all ants, so mceldowney should be able to handle this pretty easily. Going to fast forward, does he notice the attack coming in? He doesn't get a flank in open ground. Instead he's dancing back and forth, but he still takes out that whole assault force. So that's another bad trade for locrian. So right here, we pause it right here. In my opinion, mceldowney has this game in the bag. 20 minutes of the game, he's got more unit producing structures, 3 tier 2 unit producing structures, 2 tier 2 unit producing structures for locrian, 8 with 9 on the way for locrian, 8, 9 tier 1s. We come over to mceldowney's base. Eighteen tier 1s, 3 tier 2s, 18 tier 1s, 3 tier 2s versus 8 or 9 tier 1s and 2 tier 2s. So right here, mceldowney's got this game in the bag. He's got good engagements on the front, even though he totally missed an open ground fight, and he fought in a choke point which favors tanks, and he still won that fight. What happened? His economy's bigger. Here comes more ants. Just ants upon ants. Locrian is just ant spamming. Trying to micro some bots. Not getting good trades there. That was a bad trade for mceldowney. He fought in this choke point again with bots. I think if he would have fought in this open ground and been able to run around his enemy, he would have got a little better trade. But now This is where the tide of war changes. We're bringing in the levelers. All these levelers that were at his 6 o'clock. And look, we still have more levelers back here. And more levelers coming up here. Locrian finally decides, I'm bringing in my T2 I've been accumulating all game. If Mitch would have fought in the open ground, I think he would have had enough bots surviving to beat these levelers back. Now let's watch this fight. T2 bots versus some levelers. He's got a totally fight on the skirts, not straight up confrontation. 2 T2 bots for free. Not good. All the T2 bots gone. Not a single leveler lost. Not a good engagement out of these T2 bots. But hey, he's had good engagements all game. So White should have some good engagements for his side, right? Here comes White's levelers on his northern front and southern front. This is where the game collapses. White brings the T2 levelers from both sides. There is no defenses established in these easily defended choke points right here. None on the front line of the factories. And even though he has more economics and more unit producing structures through a couple bad engagements, through 0 defenses, White was able to, Locrian was able to steal the game from old mceldowney. Good back and forth game. Good expansion from both players. I wish Locrian would have expanded a little bit more. You know, he's got a lot more room to expand back here. A lot more metal he could be taking. He could be a lot stronger right now, but he's not. Look at all this metal. Just look how close that is. His 6 o'clock is completely surrounded in metal. And he's not taking it. He went units instead. That's nice, but I think this is rather, you know, it's all in-ish. Could mceldowney have saved this? I think he could have with better engagements in the open ground with the bots. If you're going to use bots, you got to fight in the open ground. These choke points, not good for you. And I think if you have nice choke points like this, you could probably build a little bit of defenses in these choke points. Some walls to hide behind, maybe. Good game from both players, and I hope this was able to help you guys see an economic play versus a more aggressive play in whichever style you guys choose to use. I hope this helps you. Things White could improve upon. Using these ants, or not ants, using these levelers earlier in the game. I think Mitch could have crumbled a whole lot earlier if he brought those levelers up. You got the unit advantage, use it. Attack. Create pressure. Don't defend something you're not going to take. He defended all this metal and look, he never took it. If you're not going to take that metal, you don't have intentions on it, kill your enemy. If you plan on expanding like this, build some defenses. Good game, guys, and I hope you join us for